20 secrets Princess Diana knew that Camilla desperately tried to hide. Princess Diana knew things that Camilla wanted to take to her grave. Secrets so damaging they could have turned the royal family upside down. Princess Diana was not just a helpless victim. She knew exactly who her enemy was and what she was hiding. In this video, we'll uncover 20 dark secrets Princess Diana uncovered about Camilla. Truths that Camilla fought desperately to keep hidden from the public. From secret late-night meetings to shocking betrayals, these secrets expose a side of the royal family most people have never seen. Ever wondered why Princess Diana famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage"? These secrets explain it all. Every betrayal, every cover-up, and why Princess Diana knew Camilla would always be a threat. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the British monarchy. Number 1. King Charles and Camilla's continued affair. From the very beginning of her marriage, Princess Diana was aware that her relationship with King Charles had a third person, Camilla Parker Bowles. What many people didn't realize is that this wasn't just a casual suspicion Princess Diana had. It was a devastating truth she uncovered, and she lived with that knowledge throughout her marriage. King Charles and Camilla never truly ended their relationship, despite King Charles' marriage to Princess Diana. They kept meeting in secret, finding ways to stay connected even when it meant risking public scandal. For Princess Diana, this knowledge weighed heavily on her, shaping her life as a royal. She felt betrayed, not just by King Charles, but by the entire institution that turned a blind eye. Princess Diana knew that she was, in a way, just a public figurehead, while King Charles' heart belonged elsewhere. It made her question her place in the royal family, and she often felt completely isolated, dealing with her husband's ongoing affair with the woman he truly loved. Number 2. Secret nicknames. One of the most heartbreaking revelations for Princess Diana was discovering that King Charles had affectionate nicknames for Camilla, nicknames that only a lover would use. One of the nicknames was Gladys, and he had a pet name for himself as well, Fred. These nicknames weren't just playful titles. They symbolized a bond that King Charles and Camilla shared, a level of intimacy that Princess Diana was never truly a part of. To Princess Diana, it felt like they had their own secret world, one that she was excluded from. It was these little things, small but significant, that constantly reminded Princess Diana of where she stood. She understood that the nicknames were a sign of their closeness, and it hurt deeply. She wasn't just competing with another woman. She was fighting against a connection that was built on years of shared history, inside jokes, and a deep emotional bond. It made Princess Diana feel like she was just an outsider, no matter how hard she tried to make the marriage work. Number 3. Hidden letters. Princess Diana wasn't naive. She knew that the ongoing relationship between King Charles and Camilla wasn't limited to the occasional phone call or a fleeting glance at royal events. She discovered love letters exchanged between the two, letters that spoke of a passion that had never faded. These letters were heartbreaking evidence that Camilla still occupied King Charles' heart in a way that Princess Diana never could. Imagine being married to the future King of England and finding love notes meant for someone else. Princess Diana was devastated, but she chose to keep these letters to herself, holding on to them as painful proof of the betrayal she faced. These letters revealed intimate details, a shared longing, and a connection that had never truly ended. For Princess Diana, each word in those letters was a stab to the heart, a reminder that her marriage was built on shaky ground, and that her husband's true love was, and always would be, another woman. Number 4. Intimate meetings. It wasn't just letters. Princess Diana was also aware of the secret of meetings between King Charles and Camilla, often orchestrated with the help of close friends and royal courtiers. While Princess Diana was fulfilling her royal duties and working tirelessly to maintain her public image, King Charles would find time to meet Camilla. These weren't mere coincidences. They were planned, deliberate meetings that made Princess Diana feel increasingly isolated. Sometimes King Charles and Camilla would meet during social events, using the excuse of mutual friends to cover their rendezvous. The knowledge of these meetings drove Princess Diana to the edge. How could she compete when the very people who were supposed to support her were enabling her husband's affair? For Princess Diana, every meeting between King Charles and Camilla was another brick in the wall separating her from her husband. She knew about these encounters, and they were a constant reminder that her marriage was built on deception and that her husband's true affections lay elsewhere. Number 5. Manipulation behind the scenes. Princess Diana also suspected that Camilla's influence extended far beyond just her relationship with King Charles. She believed Camilla was manipulating events and decisions behind the scenes. Camilla was deeply entrenched in King Charles' life, and Princess Diana felt that she used her connections to shape King Charles' actions and even influence how he treated Princess Diana. Princess Diana saw the subtle ways in which Camilla maintained her hold on King Charles, ensuring that he would never fully commit emotionally to Princess Diana. This wasn't just a love affair. It was a calculated effort to keep Camilla close, even if it meant undermining Princess Diana's place in the royal family. Princess Diana felt like she was constantly being pushed aside, not just by King Charles, but by the very people around her. She saw Camilla as the puppet master behind many of the decisions that affected her life and her marriage. It made Princess Diana's position in the royal family even more precarious, knowing that Camilla was always one step ahead, pulling strings from the shadows. Number 6. The bracelet incident. Before Princess Diana and King Charles were even married, she discovered something that made her question everything: the infamous bracelet incident. King Charles had commissioned a bracelet for Camilla, inscribed with their pet names Fred and Gladys. It was a painful revelation for Princess Diana, coming at a time when she was still hopeful about their future. To find out that King Charles was preparing a gift for another woman just before their wedding shattered her trust. It was one of the first signs for Princess Diana that she was not the only one in King Charles' heart, and it marked the beginning of her realization that her marriage was not going to be the fairy tale she'd envisioned. The bracelet wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was a symbol of the deep, unbroken bond between King Charles and Camilla. For Princess Diana, it was a stark reminder that she was about to enter a marriage where her husband's heart was already taken. Number 7. The third person. Princess Diana famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage," and she wasn't exaggerating. From the very beginning, she knew that Camilla was always in the picture, and it wasn't just an innocent friendship. Princess Diana realized that she was fighting for the affection of a man who was deeply connected to someone else. The presence of this third person overshadowed everything, every happy moment, every milestone. Princess Diana tried to make things work. She wanted her marriage to succeed, but the constant presence of Camilla was like a shadow she could never escape. It wasn't just about King Charles' feelings. It was the emotional triangle that left Princess Diana feeling isolated and unloved. The sense of betrayal was profound, and Princess Diana often felt like she was being watched, judged, and ultimately compared to Camilla. She knew she could never fully win King Charles' heart, and that knowledge haunted her throughout her time in the royal family. Number 8. Family connections. One of the reasons King Charles and Camilla shared such a deep bond was their family history. Princess Diana was well aware that the connection between Camilla and King Charles wasn't something that had begun recently. It went back generations. Camilla's grandmother, Alice Keppel, was the mistress of King Charles' great-grandfather, King Edward VII. This historical connection seemed to give Camilla an almost accepted position in King Charles' life, and Princess Diana knew it. She felt like she was up against not just any other woman, but a legacy of relationships that were quietly acknowledged within royal circles. It made Princess Diana feel like she was the outsider in a world where Camilla had already been granted a place. The old family ties meant that Camilla and King Charles shared a familiarity and comfort that Princess Diana couldn't compete with. It was as if history was repeating itself, and Princess Diana was merely playing a role in a much larger ongoing saga of royal affairs and love triangles. Number 9. Support from friends. One of the most challenging aspects for Princess Diana was realizing that King Charles and Camilla had a network of friends who supported their affair. These were not just casual acquaintances. They were people within royal circles, individuals who had influence and access, who helped King Charles and Camilla stay connected. Princess Diana felt betrayed by these people she thought were friends, but who were, in fact, covering for her husband and his mistress. These friends provided cover, made excuses, and even facilitated meetings, ensuring that the affair could continue without too many obstacles. It wasn't just King Charles and Camilla against Princess Diana. It felt like an entire social circle was working to keep Princess Diana in the dark. For Princess Diana, this knowledge was devastating. It made her realize just how alone she was, and how the cards were stacked against her from the very beginning. She was fighting not just a mistress, but an entire network of enablers. Number 10. Private phone calls. Princess Diana discovered that King Charles and Camilla were in constant communication, often speaking privately on the phone late at night. These weren't just casual conversations. They were intimate, emotional calls that demonstrated just how connected they still were. The phone calls were something Princess Diana couldn't control, and the knowledge of them left her feeling powerless. She knew that while she was trying to build a life with King Charles, he was turning to another woman for comfort and companionship. These calls were often disguised as business or important matters, but Princess Diana knew the truth. The emotional intimacy that King Charles shared with Camilla was something that Princess Diana longed for in her own marriage, but it was always out of reach. She knew that the phone calls were a lifeline for King Charles and Camilla, a way for them to stay connected despite everything. It was yet another reminder that her marriage was never truly just between her and King Charles. Camilla was always there, even if it was just over the phone. Number 11. The double life. Princess Diana soon realized that Camilla wasn't just a distant memory for King Charles. She was actively involved in his life, all while pretending to be Princess Diana's friend. To the public, Camilla was simply another close family friend, someone who seemed supportive of Princess Diana. But Princess Diana knew the truth. She saw through the facade of friendship and recognized Camilla's role as the secret partner in King Charles' life. It was a cruel irony, being forced to engage with the very person who was undermining her marriage. Camilla played her role well, appearing at social gatherings, always smiling, always present. To everyone else, she was just a friend, but to Princess Diana, she was a constant reminder of her husband's divided heart. Princess Diana had to endure this double life every day. She knew that whenever King Charles seemed happy, whenever he smiled at Camilla, it wasn't just a casual moment. It was an intimate connection right in front of her eyes. Number 12. Camilla's influence in the royal circles. Princess Diana was well aware that Camilla had significant influence, not just over King Charles, but within the royal circles. Camilla knew many of the influential courtiers and advisors around King Charles, and Princess Diana often felt that they favored Camilla over her. These people, who were supposed to be loyal to the crown and to Princess Diana as the Princess of Wales, often made her feel excluded. Princess Diana realized that some of the decisions that affected her life were being influenced by Camilla's connections. This influence extended to the way the public perceived Princess Diana, as certain courtiers would leak stories or manage narratives to present her in a negative light while protecting King Charles and Camilla's relationship. It was a power struggle, and Princess Diana often found herself on the losing side. She knew that Camilla's ability to influence those around King Charles kept her in his life in ways that Princess Diana could never fully combat, no matter how hard she tried. Number 13. Camilla's role in undermining Princess Diana. Princess Diana believed that Camilla was indirectly involved in the negative stories that began to appear about her in the press. She knew that Camilla had friends who were well connected with journalists, and she suspected that some of these individuals were planting stories to make Princess Diana look unstable or unfit for her role. This media narrative slowly began to chip away at Princess Diana's public image. She was the beloved people's princess, but behind the scenes, the press was being used as a weapon against her. It was incredibly frustrating for Princess Diana to see the media portraying her as irrational or difficult, knowing that it was part of a calculated effort to diminish her reputation. Camilla, on the other hand, maintained her quiet, respectable image. Princess Diana understood that the battle for public sympathy was one that Camilla and her supporters were trying to win, and it left her feeling more alone than ever. Number 14. King Charles' preference for Camilla. Princess Diana understood that despite everything, King Charles had always preferred Camilla. Even during the happy moments they shared as a couple, Princess Diana could sense that King Charles' heart was never fully with her. He had chosen to marry Princess Diana because it was expected, because she was young, beautiful, and suitable for the role of future queen. But when it came to emotional intimacy, to true love, it was always Camilla. Princess Diana knew that no matter what she did, she could never replace Camilla in King Charles' life. It wasn't about her not being good enough. It was about King Charles never fully letting go of his past. He saw Camilla as his soulmate, and that realization crushed Princess Diana. She wanted to be loved, to have the support and partnership that she'd dreamed of when she married King Charles. Instead, she found herself in a marriage where she was constantly second to another woman. Number 15. Camilla's jealousy. Princess Diana also knew that Camilla harbored jealousy towards her, especially as Princess Diana's popularity grew. Princess Diana was young, beautiful, and beloved by the public, qualities that Camilla could not compete with. The adoration Princess Diana received, the global fascination with her, made Camilla feel threatened. Princess Diana realized that while Camilla may have had King Charles' heart, she had something that Camilla could never achieve: the love of millions of people around the world. This tension played out in subtle ways, with Camilla attempting to maintain her influence over King Charles while watching Princess Diana become a worldwide icon. Camilla's jealousy was something that Princess Diana felt keenly, especially in the way that Camilla sought to undermine her. Princess Diana was constantly under pressure, not only because of her marital problems, but also because of the quiet rivalry with a woman who was supposed to be just a friend. It made Princess Diana's already difficult life even more challenging. Number 16. King Charles' emotional dependency. Princess Diana was painfully aware of the emotional dependency King Charles had on Camilla. It wasn't just about physical attraction or an old flame. It was about comfort, trust, and emotional support. King Charles confided in Camilla in ways that he never did with Princess Diana. Whenever he was stressed or needed someone to talk to, he would turn to Camilla, not his wife. Princess Diana often felt like she was on the outside looking in, trying to understand her husband but never being able to reach him on the level that Camilla did. This emotional dependency was something Princess Diana knew she could never break. It wasn't just about love. It was about years of shared experiences, about being the person King Charles leaned on during tough times. For Princess Diana, it was heartbreaking to watch her husband turn away from her, to see him find solace in someone else. It made her feel inadequate, like no matter what she did, she could never be what King Charles needed. Number 17. Codenames for Camilla. Princess Diana discovered that King Charles and Camilla used codenames when communicating to disguise the nature of their relationship. They called each other Fred and Gladys, names that allowed them to speak openly without raising suspicion. These codenames weren't just a practical necessity. They symbolized the secret world that King Charles and Camilla inhabited, a world that Princess Diana could never be a part of. Finding out about the codenames was yet another painful reminder of the bond they shared. It was one thing to know about the affair, but to realize they'd gone to such lengths to keep it hidden spoke volumes about the depth of their connection. It made Princess Diana feel even more isolated. She knew that her marriage wasn't just a relationship between two people. It was a performance, one that had to be carefully maintained while the real emotional intimacy was happening behind her back with someone else. Number 18. Camilla's public persona. Camilla worked very hard to maintain a respectable public persona. To the outside world, she was simply a supportive friend of King Charles and Princess Diana, someone who seemed harmless and caring. Princess Diana, however, knew better. She knew that Camilla's public persona was carefully crafted to avoid suspicion. Camilla stayed in the background, avoiding the spotlight, never drawing too much attention to herself. This made it easier for her to remain in King Charles' life without raising public scrutiny. Princess Diana found it incredibly frustrating that the public perception of Camilla was so far from the truth. People saw her as loyal and trustworthy, but Princess Diana knew that she was the reason her marriage was falling apart. It was difficult for Princess Diana to see that person who was the source of her pain being viewed positively by others. Camilla's ability to stay under the radar was a key part of why her relationship with King Charles continued for so long, and Princess Diana was painfully aware of it. Number 19. The hunting trips. Princess Diana knew that many of King Charles and Camilla's encounters were disguised as casual hunting trips or social gatherings. Hunting was a common pastime in the royal family, and these events provided the perfect cover for secret meetings. Camilla would often be invited, and under the guise of shared hobbies, King Charles and Camilla would spend time together. For Princess Diana, the knowledge that these seemingly innocent activities were actually opportunities for her husband to be with his lover were excruciating. It was yet another example of how their affair was hidden in plain sight. The hunting trips were portrayed as harmless social events, but for Princess Diana, they symbolized the ongoing betrayal that she was powerless to stop. She knew that while she was fulfilling her royal duties or spending time with her children, her husband was finding ways to be with another woman. It made her question everything about her marriage and her role in the royal family. Number 20. Disguised gifts. Another painful discovery for Princess Diana was that King Charles would often give Camilla gifts, disguising them as something intended for someone else. These gifts weren't just tokens. They were symbols of the love that King Charles still had for Camilla. Princess Diana found out about these gifts, and it hurt deeply to realize that her husband was going out of his way to ensure that Camilla felt special, even while he was married to her. It wasn't just the gifts themselves. It was the thought and care that King Charles put into them. Princess Diana felt neglected, knowing that her husband was showing more affection to another woman than to her. These gifts were sometimes small, a piece of jewelry, a personal item, but they spoke volumes about where King Charles' heart truly lay. It was another reminder for Princess Diana that she was in a marriage where her husband's true affections were always directed elsewhere, and that she was merely a figurehead, not the true love of his life. Which one of these surprised you the most? Or do you think there's an even bigger secret we might have missed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!